Focus is not something you find one day. It's something you decide to protect. Every meaningful change in life begins the moment you stop scattering your energy and start directing it with purpose. When a man or woman chooses to focus on themselves, not out of ego, but out of responsibility, something powerful starts to happen. Clarity replaces confusion, discipline replaces excuses, strength replaces noise. The idea of focusing on yourself for 30 days isn't about escaping the world. It's about stepping back long enough to see who you've become and who you're capable of becoming. Life has a way of pulling you in 100 directions at once. Opinions, expectations, distractions, and endless demands. Without focus, you live busy, but never fulfilled. Without direction, effort turns into exhaustion. 30 days may sound simple, but don't underestimate it. 30 days of honest effort can change habits that have been holding you back for years. 30 days of discipline can rebuild self-respect that was slowly worn down. And 30 days of quiet commitment can create a version of you that no longer seeks approval, permission, or validation. This is not about proving anything to others. This is about keeping a promise to yourself. It's about raising your standards, controlling your time, and taking responsibility for the direction of your life. When you return from these 30 days, you won't need to explain the change. People will see it in how you speak, how you move, and how you decide. This is your time. Let's begin. Number 1. Cut the noise or accept an average life. Every result in your life is connected to what you allow into your mind. If your mind is crowded, your progress will be crowded. If your attention is scattered, your effort will be weak. You cannot build an extraordinary life with ordinary focus. And focus is impossible when noise controls your day. Noise doesn't always sound loud. Sometimes it looks like endless scrolling. Sometimes it sounds like other people's opinions. Sometimes it shows up as constant messages, unnecessary conversations, and information you don't need, but keep consuming anyway. This kind of noise slowly drains your energy. You don't notice it at first, but over time it steals your clarity, your patience, and your ambition. Here is the truth most people avoid. Average lives are built by distracted days, not by lack of talent, not by lack of opportunity, but by a lack of control over attention. When you give your attention to everything, you give your best energy to nothing. And when nothing gets your best, nothing meaningful grows. Cutting the noise is not about becoming antisocial or extreme. It's about choosing what deserves access to your mind. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to react to everything. You don't need to be available all the time. Focus requires boundaries, and boundaries require courage. For the next 30 days, you must become strict with your attention. Limit what you watch. Reduce what you listen to. Step back from conversations that lead nowhere. Stop consuming information that doesn't improve your thinking, your discipline, or your direction. If it doesn't help you grow, it's costing you something, even if that cost feels small. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is space. And space is where clarity lives. When you remove constant stimulation, your mind starts to settle. You begin to hear your own thoughts again. You start noticing what matters and what doesn't. Decisions become simpler. Effort becomes stronger. Direction becomes clearer. This will feel uncomfortable at first. Your mind has been trained to crave noise, but discomfort is a sign that something is changing. Don't run from it. Sit with it. Let your mind adjust. Let your focus sharpen. Let boredom teach you discipline instead of escaping it. Remember this. People who win in life protect their attention like their future depends on it, because it does. You don't drift into greatness. You decide your way there. And the first decision is always the same. Remove what weakens you. If you want a different result, you must create a different environment for your mind. Cut the noise, not once but daily. Make it a habit. Make it a rule, because every moment you protect your focus, you step further away from an average life and closer to the person you're capable of becoming. Number 2. Raise standards before raising goals. Every life rises or falls, not on the size of the goals someone sets, but on the standards they live by. Goals are what you want. Standards are what you tolerate. And what you tolerate, you eventually become. If you aim high, but live low, the goal never stands a chance. That is why real change does not begin with ambition. It begins with a decision about what ends now. Many people talk about big dreams, but they allow small habits to control their days. They want better results, yet they accept poor discipline. They want respect, yet they tolerate disorganization, lateness, excuses, and inconsistency. No goal can rise above the standard that supports it. If the foundation is weak, the structure will collapse every time. Raising your standards means drawing a clear line between who you have been and who you are choosing to become. It means saying this behavior no longer belongs in my life. Not someday. Not next month. Now, standards are not motivational speeches you give yourself. They are rules you enforce when no one is watching. For the next 30 days, stop asking what you want and start asking what you will no longer accept. You may not be able to control every outcome, but you can control your effort, your preparation, and your response. You can control how you start your day. You can control how you speak to yourself. You can control whether you finish what you start. These are not goals. These are standards. Here is where most people struggle. Raising standards requires discomfort. It demands that you let go of familiar excuses. It forces you to confront habits that once felt harmless but are now holding you back. But growth has never come from comfort. It has always come from discipline, applied daily, even when it's inconvenient. Do not confuse standards with perfection. This is not about being flawless. It is about being firm. When you decide that showing up tired is still better than not showing up at all, you raise your standard. When you decide that excuses are no longer acceptable, you raise your standard. When you choose consistency over convenience, you raise your standard. Goals motivate you for a moment. Standards guide you for a lifetime. Goals can change, but standards define who you are. A person with high standards doesn't need constant motivation. Their behavior is already aligned with the life they want to live. During these 30 days, let your standards do the heavy lifting. Decide the minimum effort you will give every day, and never go below it. Decide how you will treat your time, your body, and your responsibilities. Decide how you will respond when things don't go your way. These decisions, repeated daily, reshape your identity. Raise your standards first, and your goals will eventually follow. Because when your daily behavior matches your ambition, success is no longer a matter of chance. It becomes a natural outcome of who you are becoming. Number 3, build one simple routine and follow it even when you don't feel like it. Success is not built on dramatic moments. It is built on ordinary days handled with discipline. The people who change their lives are not the ones who wait for motivation. They are the ones who create a routine and obey it, especially on the days they feel tired, distracted, or uninspired. A routine is not meant to impress anyone. It is meant to protect your focus and remove unnecessary decisions. When you know what you do each day, your mind stops negotiating. There is no debate. There is no delay. Action becomes automatic. That is where real progress begins. Many people fail because they try to do too much at once. They design complicated plans they can't maintain. Then when they break the routine, they quit altogether. Simplicity is power. One simple routine, repeated daily, will take you further than a perfect plan you never follow. For the next 30 days, your routine should be clear and realistic. It doesn't need to be long. It doesn't need to be fancy. It only needs to be consistent. Decide a few core actions you will complete every day. Wake up at a fixed time. Move your body. Do focused work. Review your day. That's it. Small actions, done daily, create momentum. Here is the moment that separates those who grow from those who stay stuck. The day you don't feel like doing it. That day will come. Motivation will disappear. Energy will drop. Excuses will sound reasonable. This is where most people break the promise to themselves. But this is also where character is built. Discipline is not about feeling strong. It is about acting when you don't feel strong. When you follow your routine on a bad day, you send a powerful message to yourself. You prove that your actions are not controlled by mood. You prove that you can be trusted. Self-trust is the foundation of confidence. Do not wait for the perfect conditions. Life will never provide them. Instead, train yourself to perform under ordinary circumstances. Train yourself to show up when it's inconvenient. That ability will serve you in every area of life. There will be days when you do the routine poorly. That's fine. Done poorly is still done. Progress does not require perfection. It requires consistency. Missing one day is not failure. Quitting the routine is, over time, your routine stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like identity. You become the kind of person who shows up. You become the kind of person who shows up. You become the kind of person who finishes what they start. This change does not happen overnight, but it is guaranteed if you stay consistent. Build one simple routine. Follow it daily. Obey it when your feelings try to talk you out of it. Because when discipline becomes your habit, success stops being a mystery and starts becoming a pattern you can rely on. Number 4, train your body until your mind stops making excuses. The body and the mind are not separate opponents. They are partners. And whichever one you train first will lead the other. When the body is weak, the mind learns to negotiate. It looks for comfort, shortcuts, and excuses. But when the body is trained, the mind follows with strength, discipline, and confidence. Physical effort teaches lessons no book can explain. When you push your body, you learn how to stay calm under pressure. You learn how to breathe through discomfort. You learn that the feeling of wanting to quit is not the same as needing to quit. These lessons carry over into every area of life. You do not need to become an athlete. You do not need expensive equipment or complicated programs. What you need is daily physical effort that challenges you. Walking with purpose, lifting something heavy, moving your body until your heart rate rises and your excuses fall silent. Consistency matters more than intensity. For the next 30 days, make movement non-negotiable. Decide that no matter how busy or tired you feel, your body will move. Some days it will be strong. Some days it will be slow. Both count. The goal is not performance. The goal is obedience to the commitment. Discomfort is not your enemy. It is your instructor. Every time you stay with physical discomfort, instead of escaping it, you train your mind to stay focused in difficult moments. You stop reacting emotionally to stress. You learn control, and control is power. Many people wait until they feel confident before taking action. Physical training flips that order. You act first, and confidence follows. Confidence is not a thought you repeat to yourself. It is a result you earn through effort. When your body shows you that it can endure more than you believed, your mind stops doubting itself. There will be days when your body feels heavy, days when excuses sound convincing. On those days, show up anyway. Even a short session matters. The act of showing up reinforces your identity as someone who does not break promises to themselves. Physical training also clears mental fog. Movement sharpens focus, reduces anxiety, and restores energy. Problems that felt overwhelming begin to feel manageable. Decisions become clearer. Effort becomes easier. This is not motivation. This is biology working in your favor. As the days pass, you will notice something shift. With biology working in your favor, as the days pass, you will notice something shift. Your posture changes. Your breathing slows. Your presence strengthens. You start carrying yourself differently. Not because you are trying to impress anyone, but because your body and mind are aligned. Train your body daily. Let effort replace excuses. Because when your body becomes disciplined, your mind learns that quitting is no longer an option, and that belief will change everything. Number 5. Guard your mind like your future depends on it. Your mind is the control center of your life. Every decision, every habit, every direction you take begins there. If your mind is weak, confused, or constantly polluted, your future will reflect that. Guarding your mind is not optional. It is a responsibility. Every day, information is fighting for your attention. News, opinions, entertainment, complaints, and distractions compete to shape how you think. Most people consume without thinking, and then wonder why they feel anxious, unfocused, and unmotivated. What you allow into your mind does not disappear. It stays. It influences your mood, your confidence, and your behavior. A strong mind is built the same way a strong body is built, by choosing what to consume and what to avoid. Just as you would not eat junk all day and expect energy, you cannot feed your mind constant negativity and expect clarity. Mental discipline begins with awareness. For the next 30 days, become intentional about your mental diet. Pay attention to what you watch, what you listen to, and what you read. Ask yourself a simple question. Does this strengthen me or weaken me? If it weakens your focus, your confidence, or your discipline, it has no place in your day. Silence is one of the most powerful tools for mental strength. When noise is removed, the mind settles. Thoughts slow down. You begin to notice patterns in your thinking. You become aware of doubts that were previously hidden behind distraction. This awareness is not comfortable, but it is necessary. You cannot change what you refuse to observe. Guarding your mind also means controlling internal dialogue. The way you speak to yourself shapes your actions. Constant self-criticism creates hesitation. Constant excuses create stagnation. Discipline your inner voice. Replace emotional reactions with calm direction. Speak to yourself with firmness, not cruelty. There will be moments when negative thoughts appear. That is normal. Strength is not the absence of negative thinking. Strength is the ability to not dwell on it. When unproductive thoughts arise, acknowledge them and redirect your focus to action. Action weakens doubt. Movement restores control. A guarded mind is not closed off from reality. It is focused on what matters. You can still learn. You can still observe. But you do not absorb everything. You choose. That choice is power. Over time, mental discipline creates stability. You react less. You think more clearly. You feel less overwhelmed by circumstances. This stability allows you to make better decisions, even under pressure. Protect your mind daily. Be selective with your attention, because your future is shaped by what you repeatedly think about. When your mind is guarded, your direction becomes clear, and clarity is one of the greatest advantages you can have in life. Number 6. Do the one thing you keep avoiding. Every person has that one task, that one decision, that one uncomfortable action they keep pushing to the side. It sits quietly in the background of the mind, always present, always unfinished. You stay busy, you stay distracted, but you know it's there. And the longer you avoid it, the heavier it becomes. Avoidance feels safe, but it is costly. It drains your energy without you realizing it. The mind spends more effort avoiding the task than it would take to complete it. Over time, this creates frustration, self-doubt, and a sense of being stuck. Progress slows, not because you lack ability, but because you keep turning away from discomfort. Here is the truth that changes everything. The thing you avoid most is often the thing that will move you forward fastest. Growth lives on the other side of resistance. That uncomfortable task is not blocking your progress. It is pointing directly to it. For the next 30 days, make a simple rule. Every day do one thing you don't feel like doing, but know you should. One phone call, one difficult conversation, one focused work session, one step toward a responsibility you've been delaying. It does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be done. The moment you take action, resistance weakens. Fear loses its grip. Confidence rises. Not because the task was easy, but because you faced it. Courage is not a personality trait. It is a habit built through repeated action. This chapter is where many people stop. Motivation fades, and discipline is tested. It's easier to return to comfort than to continue forward. But understand this. The discomfort you avoid today becomes the burden you carry tomorrow. The discomfort you face today becomes the strength you carry forward. Do not wait for confidence before acting. Confidence is created through action, not thought. Each avoided task teaches your mind that avoidance is acceptable. Each completed task teaches your mind that progress is possible. There will be days when resistance feels heavy. On those days, lower the size of the task, not the standard. Do something small, but do it intentionally. Momentum builds through movement, not perfection. As you practice this daily, you will notice a shift. Tasks that once felt overwhelming become manageable. Decisions become quicker. You begin to trust yourself again. Self-respect grows because you are no longer running from responsibility. Face what you have been avoiding, not all at once, but one step at a time. Because the moment you stop avoiding discomfort is the moment you stop avoiding your own potential. Number 7. Stop explaining yourself and start delivering results. There comes a point in every serious transformation when words must step aside and action must take over. Explaining yourself feels productive, but most of the time, it is just another form of delay. You talk about what you plan to do, why you're doing it, how it will work out, and somehow the energy that should have gone into action disappears. Explanations are comfortable. They make you feel understood. They give you a sense of progress without requiring proof. But real growth doesn't need an audience. It needs consistency. The more you explain, the more you invite opinions, doubts, and distractions into something that should remain focused and personal. Results, on the other hand, are quiet. They don't argue. They don't defend themselves. They don't need approval. They simply exist. When you deliver results, conversations change. People stop questioning your direction. because evidence replaces explanation. For the next 30 days, practice restraint. Speak less about your plans. Share less about your process. Move in silence. This is not secrecy. It is protection. Protection of your focus. Protection of your confidence. Protection of your momentum. When you explain too much, you give your power away. You start adjusting your goals to fit other people's expectations. You begin seeking validation instead of progress. And slowly, without realizing it, you drift off course. Silence keeps you grounded. Action keeps you aligned. There is also another danger in over-explaining. It tricks your mind into feeling accomplished before the work is done. Talking creates a false sense of completion. But progress only comes from execution. That is why the strongest individuals are often the quietest. They let their habits speak for them. This chapter is not about arrogance or detachment. It is about maturity. Mature people understand that not everyone needs to understand their journey. Not everyone deserves access to their goals. Your responsibility is not to explain. Your responsibility is to follow through. As you reduce unnecessary talk, you will notice something powerful. Your focus sharpens. Your confidence stabilizes. You feel less pressure to perform for others and more commitment to performing for yourself. This shift is subtle, but it changes everything. There will be moments when others question your silence. Let them. Silence is not weakness. It is discipline. When results arrive, no explanation will be needed. When progress is visible, words become irrelevant. Stop explaining. Start delivering. Let effort replace discussion. Let consistency replace promises. Because in the end, the only thing that truly speaks for you is what you repeatedly do. Number 8. Learn to sit with yourself without escaping. One of the strongest skills a person can develop is the ability to be alone without feeling restless. Not lonely, not bored, not anxious, but present. Most people avoid silence because silence forces honesty. When there is no noise, no distraction, no conversation, you are left with your thoughts, and that can be uncomfortable. Escaping yourself has become easy. A screen, a call, a message, or background noise is always within reach. These escapes feel harmless, but over time they weaken your ability to think clearly. When you constantly avoid being alone with your mind, you lose the habit of self-awareness, and without self-awareness, growth is impossible. Learning to sit with yourself is not about isolation. It is about control. It is about choosing to face your thoughts instead of drowning them out. When you allow silence, patterns begin to appear. You notice what worries you. You notice what excites you. You notice what you've been avoiding. This awareness is not meant to judge you. It is meant to guide you. For the next 30 days, create moments of intentional solitude. This could be early in the morning, during a walk, or at the end of the day. No phone, no music, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. At first, your mind will resist. It will look for stimulation. Let that urge pass. Stay present. Solitude strengthens emotional control. When you sit with discomfort instead of escaping it, you teach your mind that discomfort is manageable. You stop reacting impulsively. You start responding with clarity. This ability becomes especially powerful during stressful situations. Reflection is where lessons are processed. Without reflection, experiences repeat themselves. Journaling can help. Writing forces clarity. It slows down racing thoughts and turns confusion into direction. You don't need perfect words. You need honesty. As days pass, solitude becomes less intimidating. It becomes familiar. You begin to enjoy the calm. Ideas surface. Decisions feel lighter. You regain a sense of inner stability that doesn't depend on external approval or constant stimulation. People who are comfortable alone are not empty. They are grounded. They do not chase validation. They do not panic in silence. They carry themselves with quiet confidence because they know who they are and where they are going. Learn to sit with yourself, without escaping, without numbing, without distraction. Because when you master solitude, you master clarity, and clarity gives you an advantage that very few people ever develop. Number 9. Become someone who keeps promises to himself. Confidence does not begin with bold thoughts or positive words. It begins with trust. And the most important trust you will ever build is the trust you have with yourself. Every time you make a promise and break it, that trust weakens. Every time you follow through, it strengthens. Over time, this silent agreement with yourself shapes who you become. Many people struggle with self-belief because they have a history of self-betrayal. They promise to start tomorrow, to be consistent, to change. But tomorrow keeps moving. This is not a character flaw. It is a pattern. And patterns can be changed, one decision at a time. For the next 30 days, stop making big promises. Make small, clear ones instead. Promises you can keep. Promises you can prove with action. Wake up when you say you will. Complete the task you planned. Finish the routine you started. These may seem small, but they are powerful. Each kept promise sends a message to your mind. You are reliable. You can be trusted. You do what you say you will do. This message builds confidence from the inside out. It does not depend on praise or recognition. It is earned privately, through discipline. There will be days when it feels tempting to negotiate with yourself. You'll want to delay, to justify, to excuse. Catch that moment. That moment matters, because every excuse reinforces the old identity. Every follow-through builds the new one. Integrity is not about perfection. It is about alignment. Alignment between intention and action. When your actions match your words, you feel grounded. You move through life with less internal conflict. Energy that was once wasted on guilt and regret becomes available for progress. Tracking your effort helps reinforce this habit. Write down what you commit to each day. Review what you completed. Not to judge yourself, but to build awareness. Awareness creates accountability. Accountability creates growth. As this practice continues, something shifts. You stop seeking motivation from outside. You no longer rely on emotional highs to get things done. You become steady, dependable, calm under pressure. This steadiness is rare and valuable. People who keep promises to themselves do not need to prove their worth. They know it. Their confidence is quiet, but unshakable. They trust themselves in difficult moments because they have evidence of consistency. Become that person. Start small. Stay consistent. Because the strongest form of confidence is knowing, without doubt, that you will show up when it matters most. Number 10. Lock the standard so you never fall back again. Improvement is hard, but maintaining improvement is harder. Many people change for a moment, feel proud, then slowly drift back to who they used to be. Not because they are weak, but because they never locked in a new standard. They treated growth like a phase instead of a foundation. A standard is different from motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Standards stay. A standard is the minimum you refuse to go below, no matter how you feel. When you lock a standard, you remove the option to return to old habits. You don't debate it. You don't renegotiate it. You live by it. After 30 days of focus, discipline, and effort, you are not the same person you were before. But this new version will only last if you protect it. That means deciding, right now, what behaviors are no longer acceptable in your life. Not occasionally. Not when it's convenient, ever again. Locking the standard means simplifying, not adding more. You don't need to do everything. You need to keep doing the few things that made the biggest difference. The routine that grounded you. The habits that strengthened you.